Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Oaklawn Park here on Friday. It is April the 14th, 2017. Gonna look at the stakes races on today's program from Oaklawn, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. Today's 8th race from Oaklawn, it is the 45th running of the Fantasy Stakes. Grade 3 race here, going for a purse $400,000. It's for fillies, 3-year-olds. Field of a dozen 3-year-old fillies going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16 on the dirt course. And I show this diagram. It gives me a second to look down at my notes, so just bear with me. My top pick in this one, I like the number 5 horse, number 5, who is Vextuous. Gonna go 5-10-3-1 in the superfecta, 5-10-3-1. But my top pick, number 5, Vextuous, 7-2, Calumet Farm owned, Neil Drysdale trained. Kent DeSormo rides this 3-year-old filly at Giants Causeway. Most recently on the 1st of April at the Fairgrounds, 2 weeks ago, mile 16th in the Fairground Oaks. This horse finished third by 2 1/4 lengths behind Farrell that day, who just ran a hell of a race. It was a little bit wide that day, and just didn't have the best of trips. I think here has a better post draw. Has been he has been at Oaklawn for a few days. He should run a better of a race. Start for at Santa Anita, mile 16th, March 9th, and an optional 75 claimer. This horse finished third by 5.5 lengths. Just wasn't didn't show up at all. Had a bad trip. Just throw that race out. And then in her maiden score at Del Mar, 1 mile, November 26th. Horse won by head. Really closed up well that day to get the victory. This horse is a kind of a closer. Should sit but I would like to see this horse sit a little bit closer here today. She's had some very tough races, especially her last one. This race isn't as nearly as tough. She should run a big one here today, so I'll take my chances with her. So to recap my bets for the 8th race from Oaklawn, it's the 45th Fantasy. Gonna go with the 5 horse. Gonna go 5-10-3-1 in the superfecta. 5-10-3-1 in the super. So now let's get on to race number 9. The 9th race from Oaklawn is the featured. It's the 53rd running of the Apple Blossom Handicap. Grade 1 per $600,000. It's for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds, and upwards. Fields of 6 of them going the distance of ground of 8.5 furlongs, 1,700 meters, or 1 mile and 1/16 on the dirt course. Mile 16th. My top pick in this one, I like the 3 horse, number 3, Stellar Wind. Gonna go 3-5-1-6 in the superfecta, 3-5-1-6. But number 3, my top pick, Stellar Wind, single in the multi-race wager, 3-5. Victor Espinosa coming in from Southern California to ride this John Sandler 5-year-old mare out of Curlin. Most recently on November the 4th at Santa Anita, Mama 8th in the British Cup Distaff. This horse finished 4th by 3 3/4 lengths behind Beholder and Songbird and Forever Unbridled. At 5-2, this horse just didn't have the best of starts. It was a little bit wide, just couldn't catch Beholder, who ran a hell of a race to go out with. It just wasn't her day to win. But the starts before, the 2 of them, and the Zenyatta and the Clement Hurst, this horse actually beat the Great Beholder very nicely in both of those starts. Dueling with Beholder wasn't a half bad. Those were two very good races. Even the start before in the Vanity Mile at Santa Anita, this horse finished second behind Beholder, but she sat 4th most of the race, closed up at the end. But again, what's his name? Gary Stevens was starting to gear down Beholder at the end, but it wasn't a half bad race for her. Second place finish there. She finished second behind Stop Charge Maria in the Distaff in 2015 at Keeneland. She won the Torrey Pines at Del Mar. She won the Summer Oaks at Santa Anita. She finished 4th in the 2015 Kentucky Oaks as the favorite. I think today she should have a very good run, facing lesser quality horses. So she just looks very good here today. So to recap my bets for the 9th from Oaklawn, it's the 53rd Apple Blossom Handicap. Gonna go with the 3 horses, Stellar Wind. Gonna go 3-5-1-6 in the superfecta. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.